Hey, what's shaking? Yeah, what's shaking? We're back at it. The morning loop has begun, everybody. Morning's live with Keith and friends getting after right here, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Right here on YouTube over there, LinkedIn over there on X, and baby, we're over there on Substack as well. Whoa, what a big one today. Or is it a big one? Here's the scoop, people. Here's the scoop. All right, I had a big agenda lined up today with the dog ate my homework. Yeah, the dog just ate it all gone. No scripts, no stories, nothing to talk about. Dog's just chomping away in the corner over there. Yeah, another true story. The fact of the matter is this. I had a big show planned today. I had a big guest lined up for a big part of the show today. And then guest decides that they're not going to appear today. So don't really know what happened there. Woke up to the old, okay, so you're not going to be here today. That's all right. That's okay. We're going to have a fun conversation. Might not be the full 120 today. Might be a 60, 75, maybe even a 90er. We'll have to see how it goes here today. No Marty on the road. No Marty today. Marty's out and after it today, getting after it here in his world. Johnny is in Nevada, and we are expecting Mr. Anderson to join the show here today. I'm also expecting Mr. AJ Zeglin to join the show later on as well for some minefield conversation and so forth. Hey, guys, why don't you come join the conversation with me? 431. Jimmy, let's put it up. 431-300-3005. That's the number. You can send me a text. You can send me a voicemail. Or you can phone the show, just like our alumni member, Mike McQuillan, all the way from Peru, joined earlier this week and said, hey, we're shaking. Thanks for the cameo appearance. Dude, listen, you are a member of the lab once. You're a member of the lab all the time. So we like to have people who have been in the show before. And maybe if Johnny shows up on phone today, if Johnny shows up on camera today, maybe we're going to actually make some phone calls today and see who answers the phone today, but we'll see. We'll see how that shows up. I see Johnny settling into his chair here. We're going to bring Johnny up in a quick second. And guys, I was doing a little bit of reading this morning and coffee. We all like to have our morning coffee. I know I do. And coffee does more than just wake up in the morning, Jimmy. It does. It's like, okay. It's that bitter beverage linked to the reduced risk of diabetes and so forth. Good morning, Bernard. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, I'm glad you're here, brother. It's going to be a different show today, Bernard. Our guest did not decide to show up here today, so we're going to have just a wonderful conversation, myself and Johnny and yourself, Bernard. Bernard, where are you today, brother? Come join the chat with me. But listen, here's the thing. Researchers found that people who drank 1 to 2 cups of coffee daily had a 14% lower risk of mortality compared to non-coffee drinkers. But, producer Jimmy, here's the key. Bernard, here's the key. This is only true for those who took their coffee black or with small amounts of cream, milk, or sweetener. So my business partner, Maurice, who likes to drink cream and sugar with his coffee, might not be having some of these benefits. So Mo, if you're listening in right now, brother, I would surely invite you to give me a comment to tell me what you think on this one. But there it is. There's Bernard there coming into the channel this morning. Bernard, good to have you, brother. Good to have you here on the show this morning. But listen, researchers found, you got it. Hey, Bernard, here's the funny thing, man. So when I met Lauren, my lovely bride, Lauren, I didn't drink coffee. No coffee in my world. And she comes over, has a sleepover. Like, sleep for the first time. She's like, hey, where's the coffee machine? I'm like, coffee machine? I don't drink coffee. And she's like, oh, so Bernard, we went and bought a coffee maker that night. True story. Hey, everybody, I see you guys showing up here on the channel here, popping into the channel here. I'm Mornings Live with Keith and friends. John Anderson's joining me. Jimmy, throw Johnny in whenever he's ready there. I see he's wiping the sweat off his brow. And right, Bernard, you are right. If you want to lose weight, you got to cut out the creamer. What's shaking, Anderson?
What's up, brother? Looks like I got a fairly good internet connection here. Let's go.
Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you. Okay, good. This makes me happy. I didn't know if I was doing solo, semi-solo, partially solo. We're talking a little bit of coffee. Bernard's here this morning.
It's just not the same. It's just not the same without me, is it, brother?
It's just not the same without you. I know.
It's like fucking Batman without Robin, or Robin without Batman. You know what
I was having a little phobia this morning. I was like, well, fuck, man, where's my brother? I was like, oh, hey.
Brother, you know, listen, you know, whether it's on the fucking phone, on the fucking video, or even fucking smoke signals, I'm fucking by your side,
brother. And you know the same with me, pal. It goes, we met each other in this universe. We've collided along the way, and we're still here. making lovely love through conversation together along the way. Hey, how was the ride out to Nevada yesterday? You clearly did you take the Jeep? What'd you take?
We took the wagon.
And yeah,
although we fucking full blown, we went through a construction area.
Of course you did.
It's fucking full blown rock, like split the fucking window top to bottom.
Oh no!
So I call my Mercedes rep. Say, what's this thing? Because we have windshield
slice the window.
Right? It's cracked top to bottom.
Oh, fart!
Just literally. Normally, it's just a little thing. This fucker this rock hit. They went literally top to bottom. So I called my. I know about the insurance to cover. So I called my lady. I said, "Hey, let's get this in." She goes, "This is like a 3-step process. We have to order the glass. Then I'm like, fuck, are you kidding me, dude? Because I guess check this out. This windshield has sensors in it. So when you're doing the cruise control, it fucking knows how far away to stay from the fucking car in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not, I mean, it's legit. I guess it's all covered by insurance. So I don't give a shit. But it's a fucking $1,400 piece of glass.
You know what's incredible, man? The moment you get insurance companies involved, and especially here in Canada, when you have government type insurance companies involved, it's like everybody's like, "Oh, hey, that glass is now $1,400, Johnny."
Dude, well, and
they're like, because it's all subsidized by you and I.
Dude, and they're like, "Oh yeah, well, let's just do it like this, and then you can do that to submit insurance." I said, "How about this? Can I just have it fixed and send you guys the fucking receipt and you reimburse me? Because that'll cut out all these fucking steps. Is that okay?" They're like, "Yeah, that's fine."
Oh, it did work that way.
No, they said because normally people they don't want to fucking they don't want to pay up front and then get reimbursed.
Yes.
I'm looking at simplicity. I don't want to make this 4 fucking steps. No. I'll pay for this myself to make it 1 step.
Good morning, Lady Drew. I see you there. You're always rock. Drew, I got to say something to you, man. I was just looking through the old LinkedIn feed yesterday. I was looking through our community and stuff. And Drew, I'm so grateful. I know I've said this many times, but you're so committed.
Dude, she kicks ass, man. She's always here.
Drew is committed every single day.
Lady Drew always got some cool shit to say too.
Always offering commentary, always throwing love, always throwing gratitude. Drew is Drew's carrying the flag, man. Drew's carrying the flag. They are one. I was looking for the gender reference, Drew, here. So I apologize if I'm stumbling my way here because I want to be very, very respectful. They are just rocking it, man, and you just bring it every day. And I want to be really rock and roll with you there. Oh, Johnny! I just saw a name show up in the feed. So this dude, he might be your brother from another mother too. Mr. Jonathan Bannister is in the feed to this morning too. What's up, Bannister? Good to see you, man. Yes, top of the morning.
That's top, sir.
That is, yeah. He's so Drew. Thank you. Drew's a tranny lady. I'm a she. So Drew. So I want to take my glass off and look at you for a second because I want to be respectful, make sure I'm addressing this all properly, and I wanted to do it with love and respect. So thank you. Thanks for correcting me on that, and thanks for enlightening me with correct terminology. And I think you know me well enough to know that I'm real and being honest with you here. So I want to be very sincere. I want to address.
It makes no difference what title somebody carries, where they can see. You can be whatever you want.
I agree. I totally agree. I just simply want to be very respectful of Drew.
And I think I think us saying, look, it doesn't matter, what you are, boy, girl, color, black, white.
Yes.
Ace, spade, doesn't fucking matter. Come and contribute to the conversation. You're part of the crew.
We got Clody joining us here in the comments. What's up, Clody? So it's funny, man. I saw it. So Bannister sent a picture with me with his family last week. Johnny, he did an awesome conference and spectacular picture. Except John was in it. Bannister was in it. I was like, "What, dude? It's a great picture. Except you're in the picture." So it's like he's got a good-looking family, man. Except Bannister isn't. It's like you, John. There's that picture of you in front of on the red carpet there, and you got a wonderful family there. And they're like, "Who's that guy standing there?" Oh, it's John Anderson over there as well. So, speaking of, hey, how about yesterday's Robbie D'Angelo? I was thinking about him last night, man. What a beast that dude was.
Yeah, we traded some cool texts. I think we're going to do something together for sure. There's just too much synergy.
A lot of synergy. Yeah, I know Roofy. What's going on, Roofy? Mr. Kindness, Uncommon Kindness. Matt Roof coming up with a big announcement on Friday. Might be doing something here coming up here in the future, but I know Matt connected with Robbie D'Angelo yesterday as well. D'Angelo's a great dude, man. What I loved about his story is, and I was still disconnected, Johnny, as I was thinking about it last night. The pride, because dude, I think pride gets in the way of a lot of men. Because I still couldn't connect the dots on being homeless and then having parents and the tough love thing. And I understand it all, but having him swallowing his pride to go through his journey himself, to achieve his goals himself, that to me was magnificent. And Johnny, I bring it up because I think a lot of men struggle with it.
Oh, brother, and am I frozen or are you frozen? Oh, you're frozen. Okay. Well, funny enough, because you're back now, brother.
Yeah.
Good. When I was going through my phase, there was, keep in mind, I got a little help from my mom, like I said.
Yes.
But attached to that help was what she wanted me to do.
Yes.
And so
yes.
I really quickly realized that, okay, if I accept this, I'm basically choosing the path that I don't want. So it's understandable when you're doing what you want to do, and especially if you think that your supporters may be they may be helping you with the idea that you want you to change what you're doing. I don't know if that's where his pride was connected, but that's where mine was. I was like, I would rather not accept help, but stay on my path.
Yes, he really inspired me, man. I really enjoyed the conversation with him. I love his mission today, helping men. And we got Bannister throwing some shade my way. I love it, though. John, I think Keith is insecure with men with muscles. Actually, no, Bannister, I love men with muscles. You missed my man crush conversation, John Bannister.
I think he loves men with muscles too much, dude.
Hey, speaking of recent photos of Dave Bautista showing up recently in the news, and I got to find him for you, man, because I was thinking about you. He looks awesome. He's shredded a lot of weight. He's got a shirtless picture. He's got his all tats, and they show a before and after, and no judgment on what was before and what was after. I love he's aging in a really graceful, handsome way, right? And he's moving.
It's evolution.
It is. That's exactly it. It's evolution. And I was really it was really cool to see his photograph, because he's clearly he's comfortable with that. I guess I was going to say. So
yeah, well, I mean, I think when it comes down to it, there's a certain point where big guys are attached. Their identity is attached to the muscles and the physical prowess. But like me as a perfect example, me. I've switched that more to my mind. I basically, now my identity is more of a high performer, more mentally than physically.
So I'll tell you something, brother. We've been hanging out now for a little over a year. I've noticed that about you, and I mean that as a compliment. We've taken the conversation. So And I've noticed it since you've been dropping this last couple months on, if men would spend more time on their men, and I'll even add on their emotions as much time as we spend on our muscles, could you imagine how powerful men would be? Yeah. Right. And I like that because the muscles are vanity, nothing wrong with that. But the muscles display the habits that we put in place to create the muscles. Right.
Muscles for me saved my life, because that was the thing that built my confidence. But then through you as your journey continues.
Robbie D'Angelo too. I didn't ask him, but I guarantee the same thing. Right? As he was going through his journey, when he jumped on stage, it's a confidence thing too, Johnny.
Totally. And then as you continue to grow, you grow out of that.
Yes.
The guys that don't continue to grow, that get stuck in that. They're still 65, wondering why they're not fucking 290 pounds. In the last year, funny enough, I've been, I haven't put a ton of effort into it because it's happening naturally.
Yeah.
But I've actually been downsizing. I would say I'm probably at 20 pounds less now than when we first started.
No, you're 20 pounds less than seriously?
Yeah. Maybe even more, maybe 25. I'm a little leaner, a little tighter, which actually gives me the appearance of looking bigger.
I was going to say you probably look bigger because you're probably leaner. You probably look bigger because the symmetrical sense of your body probably appears larger?
Yeah, when we started, I was in the 80s for sure. I'm bouncing around in the 60s now.
Oh, interesting. Hey, Keith and John, mornings live with Keith and friends. We got a full slate here in the comments here. I'm gonna come look at you guys here in the comments. Let's get to them here. We got Bernard coming in with we got Holroyd, of course. We got the OG always here. I love having you in the comments, Adam Holroyd. Adam, I gotta be honest, man. I gotta be really honest with you. When I don't see your name in the comments, I kind of have like a complex. I'm like, where's Holroyd? I'm like, Jimmy, did Holroyd show up? Where is he? Is he not here? Like, is he working today? He must be on the train. So, Adam, dude, you got to just send me a text or something because when you're not there, I get this complex because you're like the OG. So, we got Adam there. We got Bernard. Bernard's driving around Michigan. Hey, Johnny, I'm trying to get Bernard on the show. He's a beekeeper. I'm fascinated by bees. I think bees are a wonderful species that humanity doesn't do enough time talking and protecting, because I think we're all like, as we grow up with kids, kill the bee. No, save the bees. Bernard's a beekeeper down there in Michigan, driving around building a business. He's in the comments as well, talking about a Chevy being $300. And Bernard, I'm not sure what you're talking about. It'll almost be that M&M is updated. We got Holroyd there as well. We got Bernard. We got Clody coming in as well. Let's see here. We got, oh, yes, Holroyd. I was away yesterday teaching class. Adam, can you send me a text next time you're not going to be here so I know that you're teaching your class? Can you just send your teacher the go ahead.
Hey, you asked me about Vegas. I didn't finish that story. So the window was part one.
Yeah.
Part two was, so I actually had a podcast yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Starting at 5 fucking p.m., right? Well, what does 5 p.m. represent to me? That represents me being up and kicking ass for 14 fucking hours. So, and this one was like all about like mental framework. Boy, one of them was a doctor.
Right? Oh yeah.
So this was not talking about bench press. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It was kind of crazy. I was like, Terry said everything was fine in studio. She said everything was great. And I could tell it was going great, but I was like at different points I was fucking tired. And it was like I was almost like I was having a hard time finding words, but in essence, what it came across like was kind of the passion that I have for what we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
And dude, I was having like a fucking out-of-body experience. It was fucking weird. I was like looking down at myself and I was like, find your words, dude. And that's what I'm telling myself, right?
Find your words.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is the fact that we do this every day.
Yes,
I can fucking do this in my sleep. I swear to God, I can sleepwalk and do this.
I had a completely different show plan for today. Got up this morning in my normal time, sit down, have my coffee, get my day going. Looks like the guest and everything changed. So showed up here this morning, Jimmy. I'm like, okay, I guess we're gonna go off the cuff, which I don't mind because I like your stuff. And I share it with
you need is me to show up and we're fucking jamming, bro.
100%. Well, yeah, and I'm even prepared to do it with myself and Jimmy if I need to. I'm just and what I mean by it is that I don't want anybody to think that this is just a autopilot, because no, a lot of effort goes into bringing this together between myself and Johnny and everything. It's
and you know what, brother? Sometimes preparing to do it to yourself and doing it to yourself feels pretty fucking good.
100%. Well, and what I'm thinking about is that
multiple levels.
Yeah. Well, we do have a gooning conversation that Jimmy. Do you know what gooning is, Johnny?
Gooning?
Yes.
I would be straight guessing.
Well, so was I until I learned about it yesterday. We're going to talk about gooning. Hey, everybody in the comments there, Bannister, Clody, Holroyd. I want to know if any of you guys know what gooning is, because we're going to, and I didn't say Goonies. No, that's Keith and John era, Goonies. No, I'm talking gooning. Gooning is something that might be linked to life expectancy work.
Hold on. You know what? I just realized something.
Uh-oh.
You're my personal assistant, right?
Yes.
We know this. Everybody knows this.
What?
And it was a few weeks back I asked you to connect me with Bannister.
I did.
And you didn't.
What are you talking about? I did connect you with Bannister.
No, look in your texts, because something came up. You're like, oh, he's going to be joining the show, so don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right, because we were going to call him that one day. We called him that way. Then he didn't answer his phone. Yeah.
Listen,
okay.
Don't make me ask you. Don't make me have to tell you twice.
Right now, your personal assistant is texting both of you at the same time.
We're getting the introduction. We need to be connected, brother. You're a cool cat.
Here is the intro text.
On the show, and And you know, I should never listen to this nutty little son of a bitch. Let's see. Did it come through? Let's see. Did it come? There it is.
He's like, I
There
knew
is.
it was my fault. That's exactly it. We're going to talk gooning in a few minutes, you guys. But before we get to gooning, I'm going to throw the accountability check-in on the shelf here today. We're just going to keep some fun going on here. I guess I found something here because we've been working with a fella named Matt Roof lately, and he is the uncommon kindness guy. I've never met a kinder guy ever, but I did find something, which was 3 types of kindness you need to become a truly great leader. Now, I think I'm a pretty kind fellow. I think Johnny's a pretty kind fellow. I know that Roofy's a pretty kind fellow. That Bannister guy, I don't know how kind he is, but I think he's pretty kind as well. But anyways, there's three types of kindness that makes you an exceptional leader. And it's and science backs this up. Kindness makes leaders more successful. What I find fascinating about this is that this reminds me so much, Johnny, like of the Hulk Hogan eat your Wheaties stuff. However, it is so true because so many folks aren't kind that when you are kind, they're like, oh, does this guy have an agenda? No, I just want to get something done. Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean you want to move the needle? Yeah. Oh, say please and thank you. It's as simple as that, actually.
Dude, you know, it's fucking crazy. Like,
it is.
When you're calling a company and you need some help, right? The cheat code is right here.
Oh.
Someone answers, hello, this is Bernice. How can I help you today? Hi, Bernice. My name is John. How are you? Are you having a good day today?
Yes.
About a 5-second fucking pause as she tries to figure out what the fuck's happening.
That's it.
And
exactly.
I said, yes, I'm having a great day. Well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. It's good to talk to you. I'm hoping you can help me with something here today. You know, it's not like making demands. The next thing you know, this lady is fucking getting everything you need plus some.
This is true. There's no rocket science in it actually at all. And the first one, Johnny, one is interpersonal kindness. This is the sort of basic kindness that should be a bare minimum at work, like offering to lend a hand, asking for help, saying please and thank you. And in many ways, I can't believe I'm actually talking about this. However, there is, again, in some of the studies that I've been doing some research for the show, not as obvious as we think.
Well, but here's the thing, brother. We talk about mindset. We talk about winning, losing mindset. We talk about scarcity and abundance.
Yes.
When you're in a winning mindset, you give off a different vibe. You give off a different vibration. You act differently. You make different decisions.
Yes.
All of what we're talking about is the world who fucking runs around in a losing mindset. And this is how they act. They act like fucking idiots because this is the state that they're in. Now, granted, most of them don't know because they're stressing out about shit that's never going to come to reality. So their bloodstream is full of cortisol, which is a fight or flight drug. So why the fuck are you going to try to go out of your way to be nice to somebody when biologically your body is saying, get ready to fight or run? You think you're worried about saying hello to somebody on the street or the cubicle next to you when down deep, you can't tell if you're supposed to fucking punch somebody or run down the street?
Well, and that's why I invite everybody to always judge this book by its cover. You look at Anderson, you look, say, no, we're actually pretty kind human beings. We're actually very kind human beings. And yes, Bannister, I got your text. Okay, so Keith Billis' new role in life is officially this personal assistance for Jonathan Bannister and John Anderson.
Yeah, Bannister, don't let the little nutty fucker blame this on you. You know what I mean? Come on now. Hey, why
don't you guys come join the conversation? 431-300-3005. Let's see who's going to dial in the number. 431-300-3005. If you're lucky, I might bring you on to the show and have some conversations with you guys. Jimmy, yes, we're going to do the accountability check in a quick second. I'm thinking Anderson might need to go for a pee here in a second. But hey, here's some comments here. What does Mornings in the Lab and Good Conversation have in common? Everything. That's from John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith. I love that one, man. And we got Clody coming in with, I have younger people who know lots of stuff like this that I don't. Unfortunately, I Googled it. So what the? Yeah, I think Cody's talking gooning. We're going to talk gooning in a few minutes. So, Jimmy, we're going to do the accountability check-in in a minute, and then we're going to do the gooning conversation. Jimmy's all proud because he put it together for us last night. And I agree with you, Bernard. I don't agree with you there, Bernard, that I think he's trying to make Bannister his new assistant. No. Too nice, too honest. People don't know how to handle it.
I'm not trying to make Bannister my assistant. You're doing everything that needs to be done. Bannister's my boy.
Oh, Bannister's never had his name mentioned on a live stream more often than the first 30 minutes of the show here today. Practical kindness. Hey, so we're talking kindness right now, guys. The other thing that we want to really focus on is practical kindness. We're talking how science, 3 types of kindness you need to become a truly great leader. The second one of those practical kindness, smiles, favors, pleasant words are nice. But according to psychologists and philosophers, true kindness is something deeper. So here's where it is, Johnny. Practical kindness means doing your best to help people do their jobs better. So I'm going to think about somebody like yourself when you're coaching your clients, right? You are at its basic level. You are making sure that you have the resources and the training that your client needs to get themselves have success. That to me is practical kindness, right? Which is you're listening to their feedback. You're making sure they have everything possible to succeed. So your interpersonal was greeting me with kindness, saying, hey, Keith, let's get you going here. Practical is making sure I am completely set up to succeed, and then you stepping back, and then we'll get to the third one in a second. Do you follow me there? Yeah.
Okay.
And the third one is
I think it's a little overcomplicated, but I follow you.
Yeah, and then the third one is the developmental kindness. So when we go through the 3 of them, right? The third one is, the interpersonal, hey. The second one is making sure I'm all set up. And then the third one is developmental, which I know you and again, I talk with, Robbie DeAngelo's, the developmental. You're constantly helping them move forward, holding them accountable, challenging them, but all from a level of a positive space of kindness. And the key word, brother, mentorship.
Yep. I mean, I totally see it. I like to, I would boil that down a bit, but that's just me.
I mean, we got Matt Roof coming in with kindness is a value that starts in the home. I was reminded yesterday of my parents' influence on my kindness, on my purpose to multiply kindness, unlock growth. Eternal gratitude, Roseanne and Gil nicely said over there, Matt Roof, the uncommon kindness guy. All right, Jimmy, I heard you loud and clear, brother. Let's do the check-in, and then we'll come back and we'll keep the show rocking and rolling. Jimmy, let's do the check-in, and let's come back to some gooning conversation. So, gents, get ready to talk gooning coming up in a minute.
I am capable. I am strong. I will achieve my goals. Today is a new day.
$8:15 Eastern time, although it's not 8:15 Eastern time today. No, baby. Here's we go. I used to think my job as a leader was simple. Yeah, hit the targets, deliver the results, keep moving. Next. But every time I made the scorecard the focus, the team fell flat because I missed the most important part. And what was it? Oh, we're talking kindness. The most important part, the humans doing the work. They've got real pressures, big ambitions, life outside work. Ignore that. And here's what happens. Your trust fades. True story. The energy drops. Here's another true story. The people check out. They're like, fuck that guy. He's not respecting me. I learned this the hard way. Guys, I learned it very much the hard way. As I was growing ICUC, I was the guy pushing. I was the guy breaking the trust because I was driving. What happened? People checked out. I learned it the hard way. I fell. I got up. I learned to do it differently. And you know what happened? The best results came from kindness and relationships. Now, I'm making a point to check in with my people constantly. What does Matt Roof call it? Management by walking around. What do I call it? Management by virtually checking in. Not about tasks, not about deadlines. I ask, how are you? The human. I get curious. I lean in. I ask more questions. I see, are you really you? Are you really human? What's shaking? What's one thing I can do to help you today? What's one obstacle I can remove from your success today? That's leadership done right. When people feel supported, people feel appreciated, they put their full weight behind the mission. That's a true story. You don't need to pay them more. Well, you might. But I'm going to offer this. Offer unrelentless kindness. Obsess over them. Empower them. Lead them. Teach them. And yeah, pay them fairly. And then watch the magic happen. There's your accountability check-in this morning on Mornings in Lab with Keith and Friends. A little bit of off the cuff, a little bit of words, a little bit of Jimmy, and a little bit of bringing it to you guys here today. getting after it every single day here in the lab. All right, Jim. Hang tight, Jimmy. Before we run the Gooning conversation, we're going to bring Johnny back. I want Johnny to be part of the Gooning conversation as well. Hey, guys, why don't you come join the conversation? 431-300-3005. Mornings in the Lab hotline is open. I see it open. Looking for your texts, looking for your phone calls, looking for your voicemails. We'll bring you into the conversation live right now on the air here. We are talking warrior mindset. We're talking Gooning. Got AJ Zeglin joining us in the bottom of the hour here today, and we're making shit up as we go along, guys. We're making shit up as we go along today on the show. Let's get back into the comments here. Let's see who else we got here in the comments. We got Bernard coming in with be a mentor or be a student, but being both at the same time encourages growth. Oh, dude, that is so well said, Bernard. I'll tell you, man, as I was going through my leadership journey in life, I struggled with some of that. I was perhaps the mentor, but wasn't doing a good job being a student. When I learned into being a student is when I thought my leadership magic began to happen, which was teaching, listening, teaching, repeat, right? Too often, if we're teaching, not listening, that mentorship falls aside. So I appreciate that comment, Bernard. Very, very well said. All right, Jimmy, we got the big man sitting back in his chair here. Jimmy, let's get into some conversation on Gooning. Let's put it together, pal.
What happens when secrets go viral? A hidden fetish called Gooning has exploded into mainstream conversation. From private practice to public discourse, overnight, Reddit threads, TikTok memes, news headlines, suddenly everyone's talking about extreme edging and goon caves. This shift challenges how we discuss sexuality, mental health, and personal boundaries. Knowledge builds empathy. Understanding creates better conversations. Stay informed. Stay empathetic. Start real talk.
All right, guys, Gooning from bad taboo to trending inside the Gooning phenomenon. Have you ever heard of Gooning? Well, I know Rick Cody didn't until he went and talked to the young people around him. Once an obscure sexual practice, it's suddenly gone mainstream. Today, I want to unpack what happens when hidden fetishes enter everyday conversation and become part of pop culture. So, Johnny, Gooning is essentially an extreme form of edging. Yeah. Prolonged masturbation without orgasm, aimed at reaching a trance-like euphoric state known as the goon state. So, imagine
the goon state. I would name that a different state.
So imagine being so deeply in pleasure that you're practically hypnotized. Oh, Cosmic Vision, $2. Thanks, Cosmic. You are now part of the journey, brother. I'm glad to see you here. Thank you so much for that. Cosmic Vision jumping in with the Mornings in the Lab community, throwing $2 on the table. Cosmic, I appreciate that. Yeah, Jimmy, I'm telling you, man, you said, hey, let's talk Gooning today. Gooning's driving revenue for us here this morning. So imagine being so deep in pleasure, you're practically hypnotized. It often involves immersive environments called goon caves, Johnny, and consuming large amounts of adult content. So I know you're a huge fan of simplifying things. So this is basically what it is. Locking yourself in your man cave, covering your walls with nonstop entertainment that stimulates the brain. Maybe it's screens, maybe it's images, maybe it's magazines, adult content everywhere. And then you're just fucking going to town. Boom. Just going nonstop for like 2, 3, 4 hours. Almost to the edge, pull back. Almost to the edge, pull back. So essentially, it's solo pleasure in your own room, not for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, but hours on end. And it's a fetish that has, because we live in a world of all these microcultures, if you put enough people into microcultures and bring them together, you all of a sudden kind of have a macroculture, right? So if you have 1,000 little groups of 1,000 people, and then we got millions of people that are gooning. So gooning has increasingly been featured across platforms like Reddit, TikTok, and some of the new mainstream news outlets, significantly reducing the associated stigma. So terms like goon cave, goon face, and edging.
So let me just turn this into a little bit more of a conversation rather than you just fucking rattling off all this weirdo shit.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure I'm understanding some of the elements that make it gooning.
Yes.
Massive amounts of porn. Is that correct, or is that part of the
No. You're absolutely correct. Yes.
Massive amounts of porn
Yes.
and 3 or 4 hours of jerking off, getting close, stopping, repeating the process. That's the foundation.
And and perhaps doing it with a stimulant. So maybe you're gonna consume some marijuana, maybe you're gonna consume some MDMA, maybe you're gonna consume some ecstasy. You might want to consume you might want to consume a stimulant to take your body to the edge as well. Right. Yes.
So first off, I would love to see anywhere between 100 and 1,000 men who partake in this on a regular basis. Just stand them in a line. Just let's have a look. Let's just do some profiling.
And I want to see how successful they are.
That would be the first thing. And then the next thing is when I'm going to spend 3 or 4 hours in some sort of sexual activity, it's surely not going to be by my fucking self.
No.
I mean, Tara and I have a pretty robust sex life. You know what I mean?
No.
And you know, we have sessions that are, you know, extended, if you will, without
Yes.
But I can't even imagine investing that amount of time of my life into fucking porn and pulling my own fucking chain.
Well, you and me both. Well, and when I found this article speaks to everything wrong with society today. Men have more porn challenges than ever on the planet. There's more porn issues affecting men than ever before. And now
I remember I got a little fucking hooked on porn once, right?
Yeah.
But it was something that was happening every day. And I was like, Jesus Christ, I was trying to figure, is this good or bad? Well,
yes,
I was still holding true to protecting my time. So basically what I did is I had a couple of scenes queued up that just fucking floated my boat. All I was doing was speeding up the process. So the porn was actually expediting the process so I could save time. I don't see where fucking wasting 4 hours of this whole thing. And I get, listen, I'm a sexual creature. I'm all about having a fucking great time. But this to me, I would bet my left arm that we're not getting any in that 1,000 men lineup. We're not getting any high performers in there.
Oh, I would guarantee you. And here's what and Bannister, these guys go from gooning to gaming and back again. And it's goon, go to the gaming, back to gooning, back to gaming. It's all one and the same. I think you're right. You line them all up in a row there, and there's a certain profile that emerges, right? It's I found it fascinating that these we got AJ Zeglin joining us here in a couple minutes. We'll have to ask him his question about gooning as well. And we got Cosmic coming back with this. Sounds like someone whose batteries died in their game controller. Yeah, that's exactly it. So guys, if you want to try some gooning, go for it. We don't want to hear your results about gooning here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Go find yourself a partner if that's what you're looking for. Hey, come join the conversation, guys. 431-300-3005. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Keith Billis, John Anderson getting after it every single day here in the lab. John joining us from Nevada here today. Johnny, so I know on Friday.
Real quick, I'm sorry, before you switch gears, did you say Bannister and Robbie were good buddies?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they
it makes fucking perfect sense, dude.
Totally,
so for
doesn't it?
Everybody listening, these are two dudes that we were really fucking drawn to because they have a certain aura, a certain vibration. Yes. And the fact that they're fucking buddies, it just shows how this law of attraction and
100%
is real.
Yes.
If anybody watching, you remember we had a great time with Bannister. We had the same conversation after Bannister was gone about how cool Cat he was. How he even sounds like he even talked about being involved in the show.
Yeah.
And Robbie comes on.
Yes.
Same fucking thing. So for those of you out there that question the law of attraction, that question, that type of person that you're drawn to. I mean, granted, we're drawn to because we're the same type of people. This shit is fucking real. Yeah. The fact that those two are connected outside of this just makes it that much more fucking amazing. And just tells the story that much more.
Well, what I thought of what was really cool too is that you get to know them, you speak to them, and speak the same language, right? Speaking the same language, drinking the same Kool-Aid, saying a lot of the same things, and thoroughly enjoy both their company. Hey, my mouse pad.
Yeah, I'm actually texting Banner on the side right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're making up for 3 fucking weeks where you fucked up, assistant.
I'm Jimmy. I got a frozen mouse pad here, so I'm actually got to figure out how I can bring this mouse pad back alive so I can move my shit around, because I'm actually having some struggles here. So bear with me.
That just means we're going truly on the fly. Nothing wrong with that, brother.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly.
That's just like in the ring when the referee comes up and says, "I got fucking problems with my earpiece. You're on your own."
Tell me how often that happens.
Not terribly, but it does happen. Because you got certain instructions. You got to be done at a certain amount of time, especially if it's TV. You can't go over. And so the ref is basically, he's the one keeping you up to speed with what's going on, with what you may need to know, or oh shit, we lose them altogether. Look at that.
Yeah,
there you are.
I'm here. Yeah. I just had to bend over.
You're on the fly. That's the beautiful thing about it. You got to be a game day player. If you're only good when shit is in line, you're not really that elite.
And I would suspect
when everything goes in the toilet, that's when you got to perform.
I gotta suspect in that industry, more important than anything, right? Because if I'm doing the dance with you in the ring, I'm thinking that you want to know that you have the confidence in me that if the ref says, "Hey, my earpiece is gone," that I can deliver on your behalf, because we're doing the dance together. I gotta think that's got to be a big conversation, probably in rookies, veterans, or guys along the way. It's knowing that you have the confidence in your dance partner. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. I mean, they're keep in mind, in those situations, they're always going to keep somebody in the ring who can fucking, he can literally get himself out of any jam, no matter what the issue is. There's dudes that have been doing it so long, they just know what fucking 10 minutes is.
Yeah. What's funny is
like for me, I'm always telling the ref, look, you got to be giving me time updates.
It's funny to hear you say that. Hell, I just plugged it in. There you go. Look at that. I'm ad-libbing on the fly here, Jim. It's funny to hear you say that, because I've never had more value with time since I've started the show. Like it's like, I know what 3 minutes feels like, 2 minutes feels like, 8 minutes feels like. Well, it's like sex. I just know how it all feels with time. And it's like this.
Well, you know what's crazy on that, brother?
Yeah.
So check this out. And this is something when I used to coach athletes.
Yeah.
One of the things I had to get them to understand, that when they're in that mode, when they're competing,
yes,
60 seconds is a fucking eternity.
Oh,
right?
When you're putting it all out on the line, like when so if you're picking me up in the ring and lift me over your shoulders and having them put and that whole sequence might be 60 to 90 seconds. That's a long time, isn't it, man?
Well, in wrestling, it's a little different. I'm talking about more like if you're on stage for, like, as a pro, we pose for 90 seconds.
Okay.
Or
as
a pro strongman, sometimes we would have 90 seconds where it was long, clean, and press as many times as you could.
Yes.
What happens is you got to use that whole 90 seconds. So new guys that you're teaching, they come out of the gate and they just think, oh my God, I'm going to run out of time. And they just fucking go until they're gassed, when you got to go, use up 75% of your tank, put it down, step back, talk to the ref. How much time do you have? There's so much time. And I say, look, when I'm coaching, I'm going to say, look, when 10 seconds is left, you're going to get one more rep. And they're like, that's not enough time. It's fucking plenty of time. 10 seconds is an eternity. But their minds are going so fast that they don't see it that way.
It's I love that analogy, because we, the value of time is recognized by some, not recognized by others. I will say that since I've been doing the show, I can tell time like no other. Speaking of time, we got somebody who's joining. Hey, actually, speaking of time, I think was I telling Marty yesterday? We got AJ Zega joining the show. I remember for a first little period of time, AJ, when I was hanging out at Focus Fitness, I was telling Marty yesterday the story. Yeah. I was maybe the guy in front of the door standing before you showed up.
Yeah, every morning.
Yes. So Marty, I know you're not listening right now, but yes, Johnny, I was the guy sitting outside the door waiting for the gym owner to open the door. And he's like, fuck, this Billis guy's always here before me. I was like, fuck, man, come on, Zach. I gotta go.
Was this the Husky Keats?
This is a transition through Husky Keith. Yes, AJ would have met me when I was in my 230s there. Yeah. So, but I was outside the door, eagerly waiting for Mr. Zeglin, and I'm sure as he's driving to the gym, he's like, "That fucking guy standing there already. Like, can I just sleep in this morning and get there a little bit later?"
AJ, he sends me this video, right?
Yeah.
Him squatting. I just open this fucking video and see some porky fucker squatting, and then he puts the fucking bar away and walks out, and I'm like, "Guy looks kind of familiar."
Yeah.
And I had texted back, said, "Is that you?" Jesus Christ, he was round. I was around too, brother. So I'm not busting you up. I've been there.
I was proud and round. Zeglin, it's a little bit of a free for all here today. The show kind of got thrown into the blender here today with some changes on the fly, but that's okay. How are you today, brother?
That's the way it should be, baby.
Yeah, what's going on today, Mr. Zeglin? How are you, brother?
I'm doing really good. Yeah.
Why?
Thanks. And
why are you doing so good today? Tell me. I'm being serious. Why?
I'm doing really good. Well, a couple of reasons, but mainly because so I got a meeting coming up here right away. I thought it was going to push this back.
Yeah.
On here, but it's that one got pushed back a little bit. But just a meeting for an opportunity to do a little more mental performance work within our organization. So I'm really excited about that possibility. So I got a meeting about it this morning. See how it goes.
That's awesome. I know you like that
That's
stuff.
cool, brother. That's really cool. AJ, I'm just gonna say too, brother. We talk the same language. If there's any way, and I say this is just me being supportive to you. If there's any way that I can assist you in what you do with talking to athletes, brother, I would be happy to join in the Zoom somehow. Just key me in if there's any way that I can assist what you do.
Oh yeah, man. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because I mean, we sit here and we have a lot of fun talking. I mean, and you go and do this shit with your athletes, and I'm like, fuck, that sounds like a lot of fun. So if there's ever a way that you could slot me in where you think I can be adding value to what you're doing.
Mornings in the lab community. I'm feeling a little left out of this conversation. John didn't ask his assistant to ask AJ to offer that.
Don't worry about it. When the time comes, you'll be the one sending around the Zoom link.
Hey, so I'm gonna do it in there. Jimmy, we're gonna ask the old man himself. Who? Keith? No, Johnny. Johnny, would you like to go for a break, brother? Because we didn't do your lifestyle tip. So I'm not doing your lifestyle tip today. So do you want to go for a break or do you want?
Brother.
Do you want to go?
I'll take another piss. Yeah.
You take a piss. I'm going to set the conversation up, and while you're having a piss, here's how it's going to go. I found something which I thought would be fun for us to have a little chitter chat around because we all have some aging parents. 10 questions to ask your parents while you still can. And I thought this was awesome because somebody said something to me, AJ, which was meaningful, saying, if you only see your parents once a month for an hour, and you see them. Like, let's say you go visit your mom. I know you live across the street from your parents and you're in a little different situation. You see your parents very active because they're but some of us don't see them all the time. Right. And if you think to yourself, okay, I'm going to go see my parents next weekend because I don't see them 2 weeks from now, that's 12 times in a year.
Yeah.
And you think to yourself, wow, like I think we as children of our parents, sometimes we lose track and perspective of how time works.
Right.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, totally. I think
granted that they're always going to be around.
I was going to say, I think we just kind of take it for granted, right? Because they're the longest serving relationships in our life most of the time, right?
Yes.
And so we get very used to them being there, right? But I think it's a great perspective, and it's a great thing to always keep in mind that one day these people, whether it is your parents or anyone that's close to you that you've had a long relationship with, that they won't be one day, right? And we won't be around one time. And I don't mean this in like a sad kind of way, but it's just something to bring attention to, and I think always be aware of and always appreciate. I mean, everyone's going to kind of have their own views on it.
Yes.
Mine was always that, I could never in a million lifetimes repay what my parents have given to me, right? And the thing is that the cool thing is I know they're not even looking for that. They don't want to be repaid for it.
It's true. Right? It's true.
And I would feel the same way with my kids. Like I hope they grow up feeling the same way. But I know at the end of the day, the greatest thing I think that I can give back them, especially as I get older and I have a family and I have kids and grandkids, is simply just time. Right.
Yes.
So I always try to, make as much time. I don't even say make as much time. Like I don't want to use the word make, like as if I'm so busy, I got to like slot it in. But I do feel like, there's a conscious effort on my part, and I'm always consciously aware that there's a finite amount of time that I'm going to have with my family. Right.
It's interesting to hear you say that though, because I don't use finite. I have to actually create awareness, because I look at mom and dad sometimes, and you saw the picture of my dad. He's 82, looks like he's 22. I'm like, okay, well, he's been around for another 100 years, but
totally,
but he might not. Right. So I found these, I thought these are interesting, right? I thought these were great things we can just throw on the table and converse about. So 10 questions we might want to be asking your parents while you still can. What's something you're into right now that I might not know about? And that's interesting, because you think you know your parents, right? Johnny, I know your mom's still alive. AJ, I know yours are as well, and mine are as well. And I guarantee there's things my parents are into that I don't even know about, because I just take it for granted.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Like, oh, you're into that. Right. And then what's interesting too is that, John, your mom's what, 80? Your mom's 82, isn't she, Johnny?
No, she's fucking 90.
Oh, 90. Right. So think of what she's into now that she wasn't when she was 80 or 70, that you probably don't know, because you probably take it for granted, because in your head,
well,
60 or 70.
I know her so much better now.
I bet.
And because, granted, there's probably more that I didn't know she was into 10, 15, 20 years ago, because and I lean into this all the time. I send her messages every morning. Sometimes it's just a heart. Sometimes it's me telling her how grateful I am that she's my mother. But when it comes down to it, I'm so realizing how blessed I am that she gave me the things that I have. And so we have these hour-long, just fucking crazy cool discussions about, personal development and spirituality and just like, our own personal journeys. And so it's like, I know more probably about her now than ever before, which is really, really cool.
I bet. AJ, if you sat down with your parents today, you can say to them, Mom, Dad, if your life had chapters, what title would you give this one? And that's intriguing, right? Because they're at a different stage in their life now than they were 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And you'd probably be very surprised by their response, AJ.
Yeah, no, totally. It's in a weird way, even though we're so close to them, sometimes we almost forget that our parents are people.
100%. That's what I mean. Well, because you said something 3 minutes ago that I got to be honest with you, registering. You're like, they are our longest formed relationships, and I know that.
I didn't even think about that. Fuck.
To hear you say it that way, I was like, right. That's why I take you for granted.
Right. Totally. Yeah. But we almost forget they're people. They play a role in our lives, and we see them in a certain way that we also forget that, oh yeah, like mom and dad also were like us, and like they spent a good portion of their life just trying to figure it out. And they also had dreams and goals and hopes and things and interests and stuff like outside of just being my parents. Right. Like, and you kind of forget those things, right? Like, oh yeah, these are real people, like.
Well, and it's what's crazy. I think what most people miss is that, especially as they get old, like my mom being 90, being 90 years old on this fucking planet, the wisdom that she has. And it's like, we don't spend enough fucking time talking to the people that have gathered this wisdom, especially the ones that we know for sure have our best interests.
Yes.
The Indians, they used to put all the old people in a teepee and send the kids in so that they could basically pass wisdom down. We don't really have anything that, there's not like a regular practice of that we should have that as a regular practice. I don't.
Our culture is not that way. You're absolutely right, John. I don't think our culture spends enough time leaning into the wisdom of our elders. I don't think so as well. Bernard's coming in with what I find hard is wanting to spend more time with them, but you can't as often as you want to.
Yeah.
Taking for granted things. I'll go see him on Friday. I'll call my dad on Saturday, because for the last 80 years he's always been there, AJ. So I just never think that I just don't think that he's not going to be there, right? And that I think that awareness can kind of
well, you know, and brother, that's the exact reason why I started texting my mom every day.
Yes,
it kind of hit me. I'm like, fuck, you know, she might only, and I started this a while back, you know, how many years ago? I was like, she might only be here because both her parents lived to be 100. So she'll probably go to 100. But I was like, fuck, you know, 15 years is not that much time.
No,
I need to have daily interaction with this person. And that's where it started. And it's been, you know, I don't know, even though sometimes it's just a harder little phrase, just the daily, the day, there's something special about it. Like if every once in a while, if I'll get distracted and I'll miss it, she'll actually send it to me, you know, and she'll even say like, you know, missing your morning text. And it just tells me how special it is to her.
That's cool.
Bitty thing.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Hey, Keith, John, and AJ, Mornings in Live with Keith and Friends, 8 o'clock Eastern Time right here, LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. Jamie Newstead, I see you there in the comments. Good to see you here, brother. I always love seeing your name here in the comments. AJ, I want to be respectful for your time. I know you got a big meeting coming up. Is it now? Or do you got a rock and roll, pal?
Yeah, I got a rock and roll in about like a minute here.
So close it up for us, buddy. What do you got going on? So can you? I don't want details. If the meeting turns positively exceptional, can you send me a text today? Say it was awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll definitely do that.
Because I know what you're. I kind of have a feeling I know what you're up to over there. So that excites me big time.
I can actually send both of you a text now that you connected us.
Yes. I love it, brother.
Before you go, AJ, if you have a minute today, I would invite you to do a little bit of research into gooning, and then on Friday when you come back, we can have a conversation about gooning. I'll leave that for you there.
I hear gooning.
Just tell you, brother, gooning is not something that our type of people would partake in. Just so
okay. Well, I hear the term gooning, and I automatically think of one of my favorite childhood movies, The Goonies, and I'm guessing that they're not associated.
That's what Bannister said
too.
I always wanted to be
movie. This is definitely not connected.
No, there's nothing connected.
This is more connected to like John Holmes movies.
Oh, gotcha.
And of course, Zeglin knows that term.
Yeah, we all know who John Holmes is, man.
Everybody knows John Holmes. That's like saying Ron Jeremy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
or Johnny Seymour Butts.
Seymour Butts. He was just a newer generation.
AJ, get out of here, brother.
Thanks, guys. Great to see you.
See you later, pal. All right, AJ's going to get out of here. I'm going to do this. I like to do this every now and then, which is reset the hour here. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. You got Johnny over there in Nevada. You got Keith here up in Canada. Lady Drew, I liked your comment there, which is, Johnny, no one should take a piss. They should only give a piss. Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. Lady Drew.
Crazy, brother. Real quick side note. So we're talking about parents, right?
Yes.
And I know the topic. What are you going to ask?
Yes. Yeah.
But it just kind of dawned on me. It just shows how enthralled, whatever you want to call it, so deeply attached to my mother I am, because I started talking about her, not at all really in line with questions that we would ask her. Our parents, you know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Talking about parents, I just it's like that, that teenage boy that falls in love for the first time. He can't stop talking about his girlfriend. I felt like that with my mother.
Well, and it's interesting because there's some things on here that I got to be honest, brother, I don't know if I'd want to ask my parents. So, for example, like one of the things was, what were your most painful moments, right? For me to think about my dad telling me when he was scared, or my mom, because that breaks my heart to have my dad say to me, I was scared about this.
Totally.
I don't think I want to know the answer to that, because I want my dad to be a superhero to me.
I think I could probably answer that question for my mom. I mean, I think it would be close if I wasn't right honest, because we've had so many conversations about real life, and it's like, and I think she understands that she's my role model. I learned from her.
Yes.
And so I think as I become an adult, especially talking about parenting, I've had a lot of conversations with her about parenting.
Yes.
And relationships for that matter, and, but I think for her, it would have been a relationship.
Well, interesting to hear you say that, because it's like, as a 50-year-old man, like sometimes do you want to know those challenges your mother had as a young woman with relationship pain, right? And I don't know if I wanted, I don't know if I want to know the challenges my parents had being husband and wife, because I want to put them on a pedestal. Do you know what I mean? Even though as Eagle said, they're humans too, we forget that they're humans.
Well, you know what because my mom,
Yeah.
she her first marriage was to because we're kind of a mixed. I don't have a full like brother or sister. We're halves.
Yes.
That makes
Yes.
sense.
Yes.
So
Yes.
my mom's first marriage was to my two older brothers' dad.
Yes.
Amazing dude, psychologist, definitely massive influence in my life. Right. So they ended up getting divorced. He was unfaithful. Right.
Okay.
And really crushed her.
Yes.
Keep in mind in those days, this is like, fuck, man, this had been like the 60s. You just didn't get divorced in those times. Divorces were
my dad's parents got divorced back in the 40s too. So same thing, Johnny. Yeah.
It was like she's like, grandma talking to her parents. She's like, your grandparents were so embarrassed, it is so different. So then she ends up, struggling through and meeting my blood father. They get married, and then he leaves because of me. Right. So it's like
you told me that.
So she goes through another one. Right. And so then basically my stepdad came around. And so really what it came down to is the way I looked at it was that she had to kind of go through those really tough situations to get to the one that brought her complete bliss.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, he passed away, but she realized that was like her repayment for all of the heartache that had happened in the first two. And so she reframed that in a way that really kind of made that kind of like, I guess you said, triumphant thought process.
The way that you speak about your stepfather, your bonus dad, because I know how much you love him and respect him and how much he taught you. When you speak about him, I think about that when I'm speaking, talking, hanging out with Brooklyn, my bonus daughter, because I think about your bonus dad and how much because I've listened to you and I've listened to you share with me the effects that he has had on you. And I've listened to you share those moments that you guys had together and the things that he taught you. And I got to tell you, man, I hang on those things because when I'm with Brooks and I'm showing her things that I do, because I know she loves our YouTube stuff. She loves what Keith does. She's fascinated by it. I think about you because if I can share those things, like you have the respect for your bonus dad, I feel like I'm in that I'm in that same box. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, 100%, brother. I mean, it's so profound what you can do.
Yeah.
I don't have many regrets in my life, because I realize that everything that's happened to me has put me where I am.
Yes.
But I will say that there is a regret around him in the regards that I was just young and I didn't understand. So I wish that I had been more. I mean, granted, it's just the age. It would have been no matter who it was. I wish that I had been a little bit more open or affectionate, or I wish that when he was here, because now he's gone, he knows my thoughts. He understands how special he is. But I wish that I had helped him understand more of that when he was still in the physical being, in the physical sense of our world.
Regret's an interesting thing, isn't it, Johnny? Because I've talked often. I don't like the word regret. I believe many of us use it as a way just to accept something we didn't learn from. It's like, I regret it. And I'm not saying that that's you. I'm just saying that I find it in my experience. We use regret as like the fallback to just accept something that we haven't learned from.
And that's a really good point.
Yes.
This wouldn't have changed anything for me. This is a purely selfless thing. Would have been, he would have understood when he was here, And,
yes.
I remember vividly. I remember when God makes me kind of just my chin starts moving. Thinking about this. When he passed, I was just having such a hard time with it.
Yeah.
And then it was at his funeral. I was at Paul there, and we picked up the casket.
Oh man,
dude, it was heavy.
Oh,
and I was a fucking cock-strong young man, and I was like, "Fuck, he's in there."
Yes.
And it was like at that moment, everything started to fucking change of who he was. It was fucking crazy. you
Well,
know?
because it became real, right? That like it's
Yeah.
interesting, Johnny, to hear you said, because when somebody passes, it's very spiritual. There's nothing physical around it, right? Because it
Yeah.
becomes. But when you, as the pallbearer, go to, I'm going to call it lift that moment.
Mhm.
Keywords there. That moment now actually has weight to it. Like there's
Mhm.
actually, right? Because
Yeah.
like, oh my God, there's weights to this moment. Now what happens? We talk about this word all the time, feeling. Now you can feel that weight, and now there's that. Holy
Yeah.
smokes! This is not kind of pretend. I'll tell you what makes my chin quiver, brother. We're building a business within and part of, and moving into the future. I don't know sometimes. Like when I speak to my folks and we talk about robots and AI, like my dad, 82, like, are you
Dude,
thinking
he
that?
looks amazing for 82, by the way.
Thank you.
Jesus Christ.
100%,
Fuck.
right? 100%. I just sometimes like you think to yourself, okay, so when I talk in time frames of like 5 years or 10 years or 15 years from now, like is the human being, whether it's my dad or somebody, like are you like where's your mindset? You're like, well, no, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be dead. You know what I mean? Like I just that kind of I have a hard time with that because
Well, I guess that there's you gotta like in say like in your dad's case,
yeah,
or say in my mom's
your mom's
case,
face, yeah,
you could look at it as two ways. You can look at it with the fact that like the average person would say that almost like some sort of a forfeit or a
yes,
mail it in or fold
yes,
it, just
yes,
quit it.
yes,
As to where I think a more advanced human, like I'll say my mother for sure, your dad,
yes,
I'm guessing,
yes, yeah,
they're wise enough to understand that there's going to come a time when they're going to die and they're
yeah,
okay with it, and they're
yes,
recognizing that they want to utilize as much of this time as they can before that happens.
yes,
A person that has never really settled into who they are and felt like they've affected other people, and they've never really found themselves. I think the fear of death is much greater because there's a huge missing piece of them.
yeah. I hear you, man. It's I
I mean, I would say I don't want to die, but I could say I don't feel like I'm petrified of dying.
well, dude, I'm drinking the same Kool-Aid as your statement there. It's taken me time to arrive there. Maybe it's an age thing and a longevity thing, and I'd be curious to know, like those that are within the Gen Xers are out there that are maybe speaking our language, how you feel about that. But I feel the same way, Johnny. Like I'm not ready to die. I don't want to die. However, not the
Mhm.
but. However, every day I wake up, I become more at peace with the life I've created, with my family
Mhm.
around me, with my aging parents.
Yeah,
And that peace gives me comfort, John Anderson. It does actually. It does.
yeah,
And I when I think about it, I lean into the peace and it makes me feel actually pretty good. You too?
yeah. Well, and I think on that level, I think the first thing that comes to my mind is my kids. You
Yes.
know, as
Yes.
my kids is I feel like there's more that I want to give them. That's the first
Yes.
thing that comes to my mind. For
Yes.
Terry, we've got it worked out, basically because we think that there's multiple lives, right?
Yeah.
And so basically, when I told her, I said, when we just assume I'll die first because I've led a pretty fucking robust, I've beat
Yes.
myself up pretty good, which I'm
Yes.
totally good with.
Yes.
So I told her, I said, when you die, you got to come find me. I said, I'll be by the water. I'm always by the water.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
that's our little thing. That's probably the last thing I'll ever say to her.
I
I'll be by the water.
tell you, man, there's more and more evidence that suggests we're living in a simulation and that there's paths that and again, I know we like to have some fun and joke about it, but it's hard not to philosophically have those discussions and be curious about those discussions. Jimmy, let's get to our we got a couple big topics I did throw on the table here today that we were somewhat prepared for. Let's get to this one, Jimmy. This is a good one, man, because this leans into what we often get into is the warrior mindset, especially when it comes down to food and eating healthy, whole, nutrient dense food. More importantly, this speaks very much to the kind of language John often brings to the table, which is how we were raised and the eating good foods, just like, the Warriors did of past. Jimmy, let's run the clip, brother. Let's get after it.
Ready to go below the obvious? For centuries, warriors dominated battlefields not just through strength, but through strategic eating patterns that modern science is finally catching up to. The warrior's plate isn't just another diet, it's a complete transformation of when and how you fuel your body for peak performance. The 20-hour intermittent fasting protocol triggers autophagy, your body's cellular cleanup system. The 4-hour feasting window maximizes nutrient absorption and recovery. Timing isn't everything, it's the only thing that matters. Descend further and unlock the warrior within.
With Keith and friends. Now listen, I'm not going to spend a lot of time getting into the details of the warrior diet, which is created by Ori Hofmeichler. What I really wanted to lean more into, because this diet mimics the ancient eating habits of warriors, focusing heavily on intermittent fasting with the unique 20-hour fasting period followed by 4 hours of eating. What I really wanted to get into was the basics, the simple stuff that we talk about often here on this show, right? Things that enhance mental clarity, things that stabilize blood sugar, things that promote autophagy.
Simple, baby. Make it simple.
Exactly, bro. That's why I wanted to lean into it, right? Which is, picking a regular eating time, right? So whether it's IF, and I'm leaning it. So while this talks about intermittent fasting, a rigid 24, I'm going to throw it out the window and say, find something that works best for you. And what works best for you is not just fucking eating everything across the plate that just throughout your day. Find what works best for you. Nutrient-rich snacks, nutrient-rich dense foods, and prioritize the lean proteins, healthy.
The easiest way to help someone eat properly is have a series of foods that we know you need to get down.
Bingo.
Focus on those. There's going to be other ones that come into play, but we know that we need to get in these foods. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to habit stack when those foods should be eaten.
Yes.
And you basically have created, okay, here's a guideline of what to eat. Now here's a guideline of when to eat. And guess what? There's a trigger that tells you when to eat. Because when you're leaving someone to figure out when to eat, it's usually not going to happen. So, you brush your teeth. Maybe you already have it stacked. You go for a quick walk. Boom. Then you have a couple of hard-boiled eggs or whatever your breakfast is. You basically, maybe it's at work. At some point, you're going to get a break for lunch. Boom. That's when you have something else, right? So if you can just take 3 different times, because so many people are not even eating 3 times a day, right? Habit stack 3 in there, right? And then from there, if you can find the way to get 2 other ones in between those feedings, you'll start to feel that you'll be feeling better. You'll start to feel that you have more energy. You'll start to feel more clarity, and you'll realize, God, this is actually a very small trade for this nice step forward in quality of life. But see how low that barrier of entry is. All you're doing is eating even if you just are eating fucking nutritious snacks after these fucking triggers.
Yes.
Maybe your trigger in the evening time is, God, there's so many of them. After you pick up the kids, when you get home, after the gym, there's something that happens daily and you just connect. That's a trigger that tells you to eat something, because so many people are not eating. That's crazy, right? And then because they're not eating, when they finally do eat, they're eating the wrong shit.
Thank you. I was just going to, because if you weren't going to say it, I was going to add to it. Yes, we want folks to eat all the time. Intermittent fasting or time restricted eating is not for everybody. We need to make the right choices though when we're going to eat, right? So it's and that to me is the hardest thing, guys. And I think what John talks often about is that when we're not planning to eat, we plan to make bad choices. So when I'm not planning to eat in 2 or 3 hours from now,
by default.
Exactly.
It's just by default,
yes. Yes. And if the bad choice is in front of you, you're probably going to eat it, which is why we joke all the time about John having pocket meat or almonds in his pockets, because he knows there's an absolute there coming. He's going to be hungry in a couple hours.
Brother, I'm in a hotel, and just to the left of me, there is a fucking big Tupperware of fucking hamburgers, right?
There you go.
Now check this out. I fucking forgot my Ziploc bags. Do you know what I'm doing? I went to the front desk, and they have these little fucking bags that they put inside the little ice buckets.
Yes.
Can I please have a dozen of those?
Yep.
So they're not going to be zip, but I can basically fold them up and I can use them just the same. There are fucking resources. There are resources everywhere. For you to do what you got to do.
Yes.
And then even better, Terry picked us a place where we've been having trouble with the dogs because fucking little Kiki is just fucking barking up a storm. So she picked this place for us. And funny enough, there's actually a breakfast here. So of course, first thing I asked, what do you guys serve?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? They got fucking hard-boiled eggs, man.
Yes.
Holy shit. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go as soon as this motherfucker opens at 6:30. I'm going to go have some hard-boiled eggs. Stays open until 9 o'clock. I'll end up eating there a couple times. I'll end up taking a bunch of hard-boiled eggs with me, so I'll have them for healthy snacks. It's just a matter of using your resources. They're all
yes. Speaking of resources, Johnny, I haven't used this word much with you, and I'm gonna try to start introducing it more to our dialogue, because this helps you make decisions. Living in a world of absolutes, when you absolutely know something, it's easier to make a decision. For example, you absolutely know that your body needs food in 1 or 2 hours from now, or 3 hours from now. You absolutely know you have taxes to pay every year. You absolutely, like, there's things that are absolutes, they're non-negotiables. Yet we as humans, holy fuck, I gotta pay my taxes. I forgot. No, actually, it's coming next year from now. Right? It's
well, you know, your absolutes really just become who you are.
100%.
But just because it's who you are doesn't mean that you don't need to have reminders and shit. I mean, this is who I am.
Yes.
But I need fucking reminders to help me stay on track with who I am. I have fucking alarms. I have books. I mean, there's a lot of little time, very easy. Once it's set up, it just boom, 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 boom.
Yes.
So just remember, just because something is your absolute, or maybe it's your character, you still might need a little help to remember it's time. Maybe it's taxes. Okay, I got to remember, write in my book, to do my taxes on this date, whatever it is.
There's a reason absolute and awareness both start with an A, because you still need to have awareness around your absolute. Where I find absolutes are easy, when I know something's coming, it's easy to make a decision. For example,
yes,
AI.
Well, it's already, the decision's already made, isn't it?
Bingo. AI is not going away. So I know in 12 months from now, AI and these tools we're using aren't getting worse. So I have a choice. I can either avoid them and ignore them and pretend that it's not going to change, or I can become good at them, as an example, right? I know that I'm going to get older in 1 year from now. So I can either choose to be a fucking lazy ass and get fat and overweight and die, or I can absolutely get up, get moving, have some good food, and try to live 1 more year longer. Right? So it's fun, because I know it's so cliche and simple. However, without awareness, absolutes go sideways, right? So speaking of absolutes, as we age, our knees get absolutely sore. And I'm curious about you. How are your knees, Johnny? Big man carrying some big
My
weight.
knees are fucking great, dude. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
People have these sore areas on their joints, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's because they've used those joints outside of the design. If you use the joint inside the design, it will fucking last a long time.
Interesting.
I've actually had, like, when I in my strength career,
Yeah.
I had a fucking nasty news. It's called a terrible triad. Complete tear of the ACL, MCL, and the meniscus was split in half. All in one fucking boom, just like that. Snap. Right?
I'm familiar with those, and I'm familiar with all 3 of them.
Bam, all in one movement. Happened in a split second. Yeah. Craziest amount of pain that I felt, but the craziest short, it was like electric shock, like at a major level, but it came and went that quick. Anyway, that knee, I got a cadaver tendon in that leg, right?
Oh yeah,
So
okay.
That leg is my right leg has actually had some issues in terms of the knee, and I got the same thing with my right bicep. Either way, what I'm getting at is this: because I exercise in a way, and I even get up and down off the toilet in a way that uses the knee and even the hip, for that matter, within its design, it lasts a long fucking time. You take a Formula One car off road, you're using it outside of its design. It's going to break down very quickly.
Well said. Yep.
And so it's like you have to understand the mechanics of these joints, because when you do and you use them inside the design, they will fucking last, and they'll even heal. I can't tell you how many people show up and their knees are all fucked up. I have them, their knees feel better, and guess what I have them doing? squatting is what helped fucking repair their knees.
Boom.
They can't
Oh.
believe that it happens.
Yeah. It's funny because Lauren asked me a couple of days ago. She says, baby, how's your knees? I said, actually, they're pretty good. Because I was having some troubles with my knees, but Johnny was having troubles with my knees when I was 230 pounds, carrying extra weight, sitting around, not stretching, not doing yoga. Dude, I lost the weight, started stretching, started becoming more aware. I got no knee pain. But hey,
Yeah.
Jimmy, let's run the clip, brother.
Are your knees silently screaming for help? Right now, 8 deadly mistakes are secretly destroying your joints, and you probably don't even realize it. Doctors have uncovered hidden dangers lurking in your everyday routine, threatening to make chronic pain your new normal. But there's good news. Protecting your knees today means preserving your mobility and living pain-free for life. Don't wait until it's too late. Your mobility, your freedom, your choice. Take control and start protecting your knees right now.
Injuries are among the most common reason adults seek medical care. We're having a little conversation about our knees, and many chronic issues stem from preventable behaviors. And like John talks about, doing things that our knees aren't designed for. So I got 8 common mistakes that knee doctors warn against that we might want to consider. And again, the point of this conversation, Johnny, is to create awareness so that we can go through our day and go, oh yeah, okay, I was thinking about that, right? So one of the things we might want to be avoiding, guys, is jumping into high impact exercises after inactivity. So Johnny just sitting around and all of a sudden doing something crazy, right? And I'm not talking about the 20-year-old punks, the 30-year-old punks like Carter and stuff. I'm talking about, guys in our demographic, right? Some of the Gen X.
Well, and let's go a little further than that, right? Because the jump, so if you had a choice, right? If you're going to jump up onto something,
yes,
or you're going to jump down off something, the jumping down, the risk of hurting yourself jumping off something is probably 3 times of what jumping up on something is. So understand there's 2 sides of that equation. I'll tell you right now, you are not, even like when I was training in strength and I was fucking standing still, jumping onto a 52-inch fucking box, which was like over my nipple.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I would not jump back off that motherfucker. I had a set of steps where I'd walk down the backside, walk to the front, fucking jump again.
Yes.
Because the jumping down part is what presents the risk.
Dude, I've been fortunate to climb Kilimanjaro. I've been fortunate to climb the Inca Trail in Peru, the steps. Dude, going up was a piece of piss. Going down, and I know it seems obvious.
It was a piece of piss?
Piece
of piss, you said?
Yeah, like my friends from London, piece of piss, easy, like just piece, just easy. Yeah, my London friends over there.
Okay, I got you.
Dude, coming down, fuck, man.
Mercy.
The knees, like every day. So we would, hike down for 6 hours and then stay in camp. Man, the knees, like that knee pain, that throbbing, right? And I found myself like changing my, and Bernard comes in with technique is everything. It's true, because I found changing my technique going down the mountain.
You have to fucking strike with your heel.
Yeah. Yes.
If you're hitting the toe coming downhill, you are putting so much pressure up the front of your knee, that patella tendon is going to fucking flare up like a mother. You got to drop the heel first, because that's going to basically engage the glutes. It's going to take a lot of the load, then flop down to the flat foot, then let the last little piece of the equation be the toe.
Yes.
But the toe needs to be taking that shouldn't be the lion's share. But when we're going downhill, for the most part, it just feels comfortable to step to your toe.
I know. You're so right, brother. Other things we don't want to do, guys, ignoring that knee pain, right? If you got pain, it's signaling you might have some potential troubles. So you might want to do something about that. We don't want to be skipping warm-ups and proper mechanics, right? If we're going to get into a lift, or if we're going to get into some heavy movements, do not ignore those knees. They're essential joints. Overdoing or underdoing exercise, Johnny. Talk a little about overdoing or underdoing something, maintaining balanced routines, because if we're overdoing, it's going to put strain as well.
Well, I mean, ultimately, if you overdo anything, especially on your body, it's going to wear shit out. So you got to make sure that the balance of what you're doing is you're better off to do a little too little than a little too much, because once you get overtrained, the body becomes very susceptible. But one thing we should probably talk about too, we haven't really had much of a discussion on, but we like to talk about all different things on this show. Is there are different, obviously your endocrine system, if your testosterone levels are nice and where they should be, that's going to be helpful. But now, the world of peptides has has changed so much, and there are so many. I shouldn't say so many, but there are a handful of these things that can promote healing on a level that it's fucking pretty goddamn remarkable. The problem with the peptide world is that there's so much bunk information out there in terms of how to use it, and even finding a really, really quality oriented source, because the shit is also, it's all research material. That makes sense?
Yes, it does. Yes.
And so because the research material is not regulated, which means that you can get some guy trying to make some money that's putting crap in a fucking bottle. You might not even be getting what you think you're buying is the problem. And there's absolutely no recourse for that.
Well,
So,
yeah.
You know, like that's one of the things I kept quiet about this topic forever, because I felt like if I talked about it, I was endorsing it. And if someone asked me, hey, where do I get it? I didn't have a source that I thought was credible. You know, so I'm starting to talk about it more now because I've found a few places that I believe are credible. And ultimately, these things can be really, really helpful, especially for healing.
We should probably spend some more time talking about peptides. I know that I'm curious about them. I think it's something we probably can be talking more about on this show, because they're more in the public consciousness. People are speaking more about them.
And the healing properties of some of these things are nuts. You know, like there's one the one that I really enjoy, and I say enjoy because it actually just makes me feel better, but also keeps me healthy. It's 3 different ones put together. We can go into we should probably not just breeze over this, because the last thing I ever want to do is create some sort of an idea that someone, that's what he said, and then not understand what to do. But they've come such a long way. And now there's so many of them in these final levels of testing where you can really see that they're testing these all the way out to the end, because if they weren't what they thought they were, they would have given up on the testing a long time ago.
You've given me an idea here. It would be pretty good to do an entire show on the conversation of peptides, right? And I'm
in the process. Check this out, bro. I'm actually in the process of trying to create a project for awareness, and even try to create a credible source for people. Because the first thing is, okay, I want to know more about it, and where do I get it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, so I'm creating that. I'm actually putting that in line so that people can actually have a place to get it. That I believe is credible, right? And more importantly, I'm actually putting together a project where people can go and watch a series of videos to understand what they're about. Yes. So when I have that in place, which should be done here in the next week or two, then we actually can talk about this with a place for people to go. Rather than it's just, all these fucking questions. And that's the problem. People hear about this shit. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to get it. And they just go out on their own and do the best they can. And that's where all the problems come from.
I'll tell you why I like this. We're continuing to move into a world where there's more content generated than ever before by AI, by resources, etc. And as time's going to go on, Johnny, more and more questions around validity, around facts, around what's real, what's not real. What we are doing every single day on this show is building brand equity by being real, human, and building that trust. So if you can come to the table with the resources and the knowledge and the saying, this is what it is, it starts to build that brand, because we're here every day, guys, 8:00. So you don't trust us, we're here tomorrow to talk about it again. So there's brand equity in that, right? So but I know you got to rock and roll quickly here, but before you do go, I want to talk one last thing about needs, because this is an obvious one I don't think people talk much about. When we're thinking about our needs, we're often thinking about the physical. I've worked out too hard. I've gone down a mountain. I've done a wrong squat. We don't consider if we're eating bad food, if we're eating high inflammation food, if we're carrying heavy weight, and if we're not living a healthy lifestyle, it's going to affect your knees. Gentlemen, as you're walking around today, go look at the dudes around you and look at those big bellies hanging over their guts. I'm just being frank. Their knees aren't loving those big bellies. Simple as that, Johnny. Like, I really can't be more fucking simple than that.
You figure if someone's inflamed in the belly, you're guaranteeing they're inflamed in the knees.
Precisely. So I'm trying to be tactical or tactful, which is, if you're complaining about your knees, don't go look at your knees, go look at your belly. That's probably where it's starting.
Well, because the knees are just the basically the negative side effect of
Yes.
some different way. It's what you're probably. It could be either what you're doing or what you're not doing, but the way that you live your life is promoting this somehow.
100%. And that's why I thought this was a great conversation to have, because it generally affects all of us. And I've walked around and I've seen a lot of buddies, a lot of men that I was at the grad yesterday. A lot of our peer group carry the big bellies, Johnny. Carry the big, and I know I carried the big belly for a while. My knees were sore. I was tired. I was lethargic, and just like you've talked about it before, man. The moment I got rid of that and I don't have a belly anymore, my knees are great, man. I climb mountains. I can squat, but it all started with changing my lifestyle, daily habits. And then before you go, Bernard comes in with basic rule from addiction was, if it's man-made, I don't do it. I've grown from there to what I eat. I'm not 100% grass-fed or anything, and just do my best and normal. Good for you, Bernard. Minimum of man-made into my body, very little processed foods. And Bernard's a natural dude, man. 99% no pharmaceuticals for me. Motrin maybe for a bad toothache, or Benadryl if I get stung 100 times. Otherwise, I take honey. No fast food, no soda. Good for you, Bernard. Bernard, that's awesome, man. I'll tell you what I love about that, brother. You got principles, you're sticking to them, and you're living by them, and that's half the battle for many of us human beings, frankly. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, listen, I know you got to rock and roll. What do you got going on here today? You gonna go have some boiled eggs down there at the cafeteria?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get my first round of boiled eggs. I'll wipe them out for sure. So. But I'm always nice. When I take them all, I go in the back and say, "Hey, can we get some more hard-boiled eggs out of here?" I always leave a few behind.
Yeah, oh, good.
But ultimately, we have a couple breakfasts this morning here because hard-boiled eggs is my jam.
Yes, yes.
And then what do I got? I've got some client calls, and I have another podcast at 11, which is going to be a fun one. And then I have a training collab at Dragon's Lair Gym with a buddy of mine from the wrestling world. Yeah.
Nice.
His name's Brian Cage. He's a cool cat.
Yeah.
He's also, he's yoked too. So it'll be a fun video.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Yeah. I got a packed day today too, man. Got a lot going on the agenda today. Got some meetings today. I got a big one at 11 o'clock Central with somebody who's on the show earlier this morning, who may have phoned into the show, who may not phoned in, who was in the comments this morning. So we're still working on trying to pull some things together here, Mr. Anderson. So hopefully I'm sending you a text later today from your assistant, not to be cryptic.
Let's go, baby.
But, we'll leave it there. Hey, listen, send some love to Terry for me and the dogs. And this was fun, man. Sometimes all best plans laid to rest to still have a lot of fun. Fuck, we just do it, man. It's always good.
When we talk about being real and talk about being organic, and nothing better when shit fucking hits the fan, because that's what you got.
I love it. This is what's great about it. Like, this is what's truly great about this, is that you and I show up, and so does our community. And I mean that with love. So does our community. Right? We show up here and the lights go on, and outside the door of the gym is Bernard, and you got Lady Drew, and you got John Top Serve, and that is so freaking cool. I just because I've never experienced this before. You have with your gym and through your things in life when people showed up for you. This is really neat to me, where we do this thing and people are, it's like, to me, like the metaphor is like there's people standing outside of our gym waiting to get in. Like, that's pretty fucking cool, man, because they see value in it, right? So it's like, hey, if they're seeing value, we got to keep bringing the value. So
that's it, baby.
All right, well, listen, have a good one today. Be safe. Good luck with your windshield.
It's just a pain in the ass. That's all that is. You know what I end up doing is it's because we basically the Mercedes dealership and the Porsche dealership, they get pissed off because what we do is we drop off the car on the way to fucking Mexico. But we'll be down there sometimes for like fucking 2 months, and they're sitting there waiting for us to come back.
You know what? So I forgot to tell you this at the start of the show here. I had my Jeep windshield. So my 2008, my daily Jeep, I had it for whatever it was, a few months. I got a crack in the windshield. I went and had it fixed. As I was driving home from getting it fixed, it got cracked again. And then just before I got home, it hit another rock. I was like, fuck that. I haven't fixed it since. I'm like, the hell with that.
Well, on a vehicle where it's just where it's like you don't really care.
Yeah.
For sure. But on a fucking G63.
Yeah. No, you want to make sure there's yes, exactly. All All right, pal. We got Bernard. Nothing wrong with back to original for a day. You got it, brother. Adapt and be flexible. You will win as you will as well. All right, Johnny's going to get out of here. I love you, pal. Be well, okay?
I love you too, brother. Have a good loop. See you in a moment.
You betcha. All right, Johnny's going to get out of here. Jimmy, we did it. We always do it, though, don't we, guys? We always do it. Mornings in the Lab community. We show up, put the work in, and great content and great conversations. And I would like to think great value is added. So, and Jimmy, you're right. We always did it. It's funny though, guys. I'm going to be Frank, or it could be John or Steve or Dave. Why do we say Frank, Jimmy? Like, why did society decide to lean on, I want to be Frank? I don't know. Maybe I'm going to say, I'm going to be Jimmy, but I'm going to be Frank because I care so much about the show. And because I care so much about giving you guys value. True story. Bernard, I care so much, and Lady Drew, I care so much for bringing value that I feel like when I'm quote unquote not prepared, even though I think that you guys don't know when I'm not prepared, when I feel like I'm not prepared, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not bringing value. So I'm glad to hear that I think we brought value. The good news is that we just keep showing up and doing our thing. And value comes out by showing up. Think about that, right? Value comes up by showing up. All right, so we're going to do the community corner, guys. Bernard, you're right. Pumping knowledge and self-esteem can't get old. Dude, how do I express gratitude sometimes other than just the words that I share to you guys? Here's the thing with our relationship. True story is what I'm going to say next. You guys don't know how I feel about you, but there's just so much love, and I just wish there's ways that I can sincerely show it. Like truly. Right? Like the Drews, the Bernards, like you guys don't hang out for like 30 fucking seconds. You guys hang out for the whole show. I just struggle sometimes to, it's just a bizarre relationship between what happened on this side with you guys. And it's called love, man. I just fucking love it. I just love it. Oh, Jimmy, McNeil loves my penis. Woo-hoo-hoo! Yes, let's get. Hold on, we gotta get the applause here. Hold on. Yes, Mac 468L, Jimmy. Mac 468L. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. Mac 68L loves my penis. So to everybody in the Mornings in the Lab community, to all of you, to all my supporters, to all of the community, we now have somebody who officially loves Uncle Keith's handsome penis. Jimmy, there's the clip. The show's over. Mac, I love that you love my penis. Oh, I wish Johnny was here, man, to share that news with us, Jimmy. I'm just beside myself because that has to be, Jimmy, that has to be the comment of 2025. I'm just telling you guys, that has to be the comment of 2025 here with Mac 46.8 loving Uncle Keith's penis.
Keith, calm the fuck down, man. You're scaring John.
Oh, Bernard, I wish I could see your smile too, man. I know I'm going to see it one day here on the show. Your biggest value is showing up, being authentic. I appreciate that. So kind. Lady Drew. Same thing, man. All of you are worth my time bringing the value. All right, guys, let's do it. Community Corner. We're going to bring some LinkedIn and Substack right here on Mornings Live with Keith and friends. What's the wildest thing you've tried in the name of growth? John, Jimmy, that's like a John Krasky thing. Yeah. All right. Oh, what's this here? I see their, Jimmy's on the ball here, guys. Oh, Mac 46.8 is still on the ball too. Thumbs up. Yes. I'm glad that you love my penis, man. That's just the greatest compliment ever, Jimmy. Hey, the phrase, let me be frank, originates from the old French word. Guys, I got the greatest producer in the world here. He had no idea I was going to talk about Frank or John or Jimmy, but he found it. So let's get into it. The phrase, let me be frank, Bernard, do you know where it comes from, Lady Drew? It originates from the old French word, frank. Oh, Jimmy, you're passing off the buck to Melissa? Oh, Melissa's got her ears on. Jimmy, I think Melissa's cuddled up in the bed. It's winter over there in Africa, so she's all cuddled up in bed and cozy, but still paying attention. But the word frank means free. Yeah, the connection to freedom extended to the idea of being free in one's speech, leading to the modern use of frank. I wonder if they'd be like French fries or frank fries. oh, maybe that's why. Anyways, the phrase is often used to introduce a statement that is truthful, but maybe difficult or uncomfortable for the listener. So there we go. That's why we say to be frank. Maybe, Jimmy, maybe we're going to adopt it to be Melissa. That could be the word we use now. To be Melissa means that on a morning show, you speak frankly and freely. That's called Melissa. So nation, we've redefined the word. I'm going to say to be Melissa. That means I'm speaking frankly. There you go. That's exactly it. Bernard, you've heard of, you need a I just gave you the refresher, brother. I just totally gave you the refresher. Yeah. Okay, about the Eminem poster on John's dumpster. Yes, be free in speaking. Yes. Hey, Mac, have you subscribed to our channel? I would invite you to subscribe to this channel. We get after every single day here, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Join the community. We got an awesome community here. Cosmic Vision, Jamie Newstead, Lady Drew, Bernard, Good Time. Good Time, are you out there? I haven't heard from you in a while, brother. We got Adam Holroyd, always here. Even when Adam's not here, he's here. But let's continue on with the community corner, or else I'm just never. Oh, Bernard, you're distracting me. Not Karen? Okay, we can use Karen too. Okay, to be Karen. Melissa, where does that come from? Anyways, what's the wildest thing you've tried in the name of growth, you guys? Well, I try. Oh no, we're not trying that. I did put lifts into my shoes when I was a young man. Yep, I did. Bernard, I put lifts into my shoes to try to grow. It was a couple inches, yeah, because I'm a short man. Yeah, I'm only 4'8". Mac, yes, thanks for subscribing to the channel, man. I appreciate that. Even if you love my penis, that's awesome. But listen, guys, you ever faced an old fear? You ever flipped a script on your own morning or chased fulfillment down a road most people are too scared to walk? Well, listen, we're gonna get into the corner because this corner here today is never boring. Let's do it, Jimmy. It's gonna sound like this. All right. We're going to start on Substack. Uncle Keith's going to do a little dance going on here. You ever heard of meditating for 35 hours in a single week? No, I'm not talking about gooning for 35 hours in a single week. No, I'm talking about meditating. Well, Aston Schrock discovered Chris Bailey's legendary productivity experiment where Chris squeezed... You know, between gooning and squeezing, there's a whole bunch of shit going on there. But we're not talking gooning or squeezing, Jimmy. We're talking about meditating and squeezing. Where Chris squeezed 5 hours of meditation into every day while still juggling work, workouts, and life. With only 20 hours left for actual work, Chris decided to goon and just gooned nonstop for 90 hours. Oh, wait, this isn't the script. Shit, Melissa, what are you doing, man? I thought we were talking meditating or gooning. Jeez, Chris. Austin admits he's not about to swap his gym time for a gooning session in the goon cave. Oh, Jimmy, Melissa, we totally got to put this clip in front of Chris Austin and have Chris come in and see if he could swap out meditating for gooning, because we know it's not about how many hours you goon. It's about how you manage your gooning energy and your gooning attention. So, would you trade hours for gooning focus, Jimmy? And what would your results look like if you worked less? Maybe there's just stuff all over the walls. Oh my God. Yeah. Bear crawls, beach sweat, and breaking down walls. Facing the guys you've been avoiding. Yep. Phil Powis threw himself under a bus. Jimmy, I'm just going to fuck with this whole script here today. And Melissa goes, what the hell is this guy talking about? Is this AI Keith behind the camera here today? Yeah, that's exactly it. Phil Powis threw himself into a fitness retreat with ex-football players, the very crew he'd spent years dodging. Imagine showing up at 43 to train with the same types who made high school rough. But by leaning into that discomfort, Phil found strength and camaraderie where he least expected. Bottom line, sometimes the people you avoid are the ones who help you grow the most. So, I invite you. Who are you dodging? Maybe it's time to spend some time with them and see what you learn about yourself and your own morning gooning mindset. Yeah. That's just fun. Is there such a thing as enough? Well, not for Jeff Fenster. He's not chasing a finish line. He's chasing purpose, growth, and the gooning record of 2025. And the daily shot of momentum. I'm just weaving gooning into every topic for the rest of the show. Yeah, that's a true story right there. This guy, he says, fulfillment doesn't come from what you collect. No, fulfillment comes from a wonderful gooning session in your own goon cave. From who you become, where you're collecting scars on the right side of the shaft, left side of the shaft, while you're gooning away. So the real adventure isn't in the stroke. It's in the process. It's in the results. Every day is a new chance to build, to stroke, to create, and live with intentional gooning. So I invite you, what keeps you from getting too comfortable in the goon cave? Gentlemen, ask yourself, what is it? Well, I know, we're going back to LinkedIn. The morning routine smackdown. Sorry, Bridget, we're still setting alarm. What? Bridget Hampstead declared war on morning routines. She calls them tyranny. Jimmy, I feel like I got something coming out of me right now. Tyranny? We're gonna keep this one here. She says the 5 a.m. crowd is just a productivity cult and doesn't apply to neurodivergent folks. Hold on a second here, baby. Well, I might just fall into that crowd with my ADHD. I get the struggle of chasing. Holy fuck! There's a squirrel. Hold on. Fuck! I'm just chasing this. Oh, sorry. I was trying to chase. There's a squirrel in my room. I'm trying to get the squirrel. Oh, there's a shiny object over here too. Hold on. Oh, I'm just trying to get this fucking shiny object. I'm just distracted. Oh, my ADHD. Listen, I get the struggle. I get the struggle of chasing squirrels and shiny objects and everything that goes with it. I'm just fucking always all over the place. But here's my take. Here's Uncle Keith's take. Here's Uncle Keith's take there. Bridget, listen up. Owning your morning isn't some motherfucking twisted punishment. It's about starting your day on purpose. Before your excuses wake up. Before all those barriers wake up. So Bridget, if rolling out of bed works for you, I invite you to go for it. But I'm going to keep setting my alarm, not hitting the snooze button, because discipline isn't a dirty word around. Oh, sorry, I got to get the squirrel. I got a show to do. Damn it, I'm just distracted. Anyways, who's with me, guys? Are you guys on the dawn patrol, or are you still waiting to sunrise to chase you out of bed? I don't know. Bridget, it's interesting. I don't think it's a cult. I think it's the way of the future. Yeah. All right, guys, that's the community corner, fellas. Which story was resonating for you here? Was it just me running around like a fucking moron? 36 hours of meditation, 40 hours of gooning, a weekend with old rivals. Roofie, yes, the wheels have officially fallen off. Hold on, there's a squirrel in my fucking room again. Oh, I love it. 35 hours of meditation, a weekend with old rivals, or tossing out the 5 a.m. Speaking of tossing, we're talking to gooning. You guys ever use the term tossing off? Like, you could toss it off and toss the gooning. Listen, I invite you guys to drop your thoughts in the comments. And hey, if you want your story featured, Jimmy, I'm done preparing. No more fucking prep for these shows. Did I warn you guys during the opening monologue that I would drop some bad words on the show? Because we do swear on this show. So 2 hours in, I would invite you to put the headphones on the kids or walk them out of the lab, because they might be offended by some of the things we say here. Bernard, I don't want to know the truth. Yes, I do, Bernard. You can handle the truth. And then Officially, Mornings in the Lab is going gooning forever. Every single script for the West of the Week. What's with I think the list is coming out. West, Field. These words, I speak so much, I don't even know some of the things I'm saying. I feel like I'm Christopher Martin right now. Sometimes when Marty gets after, he starts laughing. He doesn't even know why he's laughing. He just starts laughing. It's funny, man. I was watching him make content one day. He's laughing away at himself. I'm like, dude, not even funny. He's like, no, it is pretty fucking funny. All right. Let's continue with the creator spotlight. Bernard, let's start with a spermatic cyst that's 20 years old. I see why old guys have huge sacks. Off the rails. Have you ever been called something you didn't deserve? Yeah, well, most of us have. Let's see, what have I been called before? I've been called a douchebag. I've been called a fucking narcissist. I've been called... that's another show. But a gooner, a goonie. But what if you took that label? I've been called a short ass. I've been called no knees. I've been called no knees. I grew up in called no knees. Billis, where's your knees? No, I actually have legs. Oh, but Keith, you have no knees. No, I do. What if you took the label that somebody called you and you used it to help millions? Well, the creator we're talking about today didn't start out trying to change the conversation around mental health. No. He just wanted to survive, stay sober, and stay the fuck out of jail. True story, man. Wow. Sharing his truth online, he found something bigger, a way to turn pain into connection. He's a certified peer support specialist, recovery coach. I'm sorry, man. He's a fucking author, too. Yeah, he's an author. Oh, my God. You know why I'm an author? Because I can't be an author. Because I'm dissing every author on the planet. If you're an author, yeah, let me see your garage. Let me see your garage lawyer. You know, here's the thing with all you motherfucking authors. You all are thinking what I'm just saying, but nobody wants to say it. Because there's a whole industry around being authors. Yeah. And there's a whole industry on building garages full of all the books that nobody's buying. Does the world need another book from that guy over there who's writing? I'm going to write a book. Does the world need another fucking book from not an author? Does the world need another fucking podcast from not a podcaster? No. Stop being authors. There you go, Melissa. You can bring the fucking AI Keith out for that one because we just have enough authors out there. Listen, this guy, he's certified peer support specialist. The creator spotlight just off the rails here today. They're like, oh my God, we cannot feature this person on the creator spotlight here because Uncle Keith's just fucking dissing the guy. Well, I'm not actually dissing. I'm just calling out the fact that, I don't know, just saying. Anyways, this guy's helped over 1 million people recognize symptoms they never knew they had. Talking symptoms. And he built a massive following with nothing but honesty and a service dog named Luna. Luna. Meet Cody Green. Cody is running a second chance hiring agency for people with criminal records. Just published Minds Over Meetings and hosts a podcast. Oh man, Jimmy, the guy hosts a podcast and he's an author? What is it, 1984? Fuck, man. Maybe the guy writes in pen and pencil, too. Jesus, Murphy. Podcasts, authors. Oh, my God. Maybe this guy wants to come on my show. He's going to feel like it's fucking 1974. It is. It's like we're sitting back in the world of Stern. So if you want to talk about men's health, morning motivation, or what it takes to turn things around, fuck, don't follow this guy. Don't follow Cody Green. I wouldn't follow Cody Green. No. Nope. Do not follow Cody Green. No, he's got a, labels don't stop this guy. They don't have to stop you. But Cody, all kidding aside, brother, we are celebrating you here today in the lab, and you're going to get a chance with some glass. Dude, check out the hair, man. All right. You know, I knew I was planning on doing this, but now we officially have to do it. We got to do a flow show. Jimmy, check out the fucking flow on Cody. That guy's rocking the flow like no tomorrow. I know I can rock a flow. Bernard, if you can see this guy's lid, man, Johnny would be jealous. Cody, we got to have you on the show, man. Cody Green, you're welcome here. I don't care about the creative spotlight. We're going to do the flow spotlight. We're going to spotlight your fucking flow, man. Love it. Cody Green, creative spotlight, come on the show so we can give you the spotlight so you can shine on somebody else with some awesome flow, too. Yeah. There you go. All right, Cody Green. That's our creator spotlight today on Mornings Live with Keith and Friends. And we got another one. The other one lives on Substack. And their name is, I'm not telling you the name, not yet, because I'm going to play some tunes to get it going here. Boom, 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 as John Kraske would say. You ever get stuck with a business problem that Google just can't solve? Well, if you do, you got to go to ChatGPT. Yeah, there you go. Google, what are we? I'm telling you, man, this feels like we're in the 1930s. That feeling, lost in a sea of generic advice, hits every founder eventually, and most people settle. Just settling in, settle. But what if you could talk to someone who's actually done it, built companies, raised money, taught the next wave? This guy we're celebrating today has launched multiple strikes on Fordo. Wait a minute, that was the bombing mission on the weekend. No, this guy's launched multiple startups. He teaches entrepreneurship at Duke. He's even got a PhD in English. No joke. Yeah, he's been through the chaos himself. His name, Jimmy, his name? Aaron Dinnan, the author behind Entrepreneur Office Hours on Substack. If you want honest answers that make a difference, I invite you to check it out, because sometimes the right answer is just one mother conversation away. What do we do here on the show? We have fucking conversations every single day. So, my brother from another mother, Aaron Dinnan, love to have you on the show. Yeah, true story. Would love to have you hang out with us here in the lab and bring some fun, bring some attitude, bring some good nature, and bring the party to Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends that gets after it every single day right here at 8 o'clock Eastern time. What are we going to do? We're going to give you the light. We're going to give it a light so you can shine on somebody in your orbit. I know, Aaron, there's somebody in your world who you think is producing pretty good things. So what do? We give them the light to shine the light on their world. And we call it the Community Corner Creator Spotlight. Aaron Dinnan, love to have you on the show, brother. There you go. Chick commuter, for sure. Creator Spotlight for Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends on a Wednesday of the Loop. Woo! Yeah, there you go. 2 hours. Just like that. Jimmy, I'm looking to the horizontal comments. Let's see what we got here. We got Roofy coming in. Yep, only dropping comments. Don't drop your food in the comments. Sticky keyboard. Lady Drew, thank you, Keith, for the invitation. Everyone has a wonderful, happy, healthy, safe, and successful week. Blessed be everyone. Thank Keith and everyone for another great show. You know, Jimmy, I'm going to try to read without taking a breath. Almost like Eminem, like rapping. Just going to go like a fucking boom, right? All right. Well, I can sing and dance. My bladder is starting to crawl up my chest cavity. It's telling me that it has to do something. And I'm thinking that what it has to do does not involve you guys. So, on behalf of the man himself, Producer Jimmy, on behalf of the effervescent, to be frank, Melissa, Johnny, Marty, who's not here, Bannister, Lady Drew, Maddie, Bernard, I appreciate you, brother. I'm going to tell you this too, man. I love you. I do. You know what? It's going to become a word I'm signing off my show with, because as men, we need to keep being comfortable expressing those words to other men around us. Guys, I want to invite you guys to do something today. We talked about it about an hour ago here on the show. Your parents still alive? Why don't you give them a call today? Why don't you give them a call? Go see them. Ask them some questions. There's probably a number of questions you can still ask your parents, but you haven't asked them yet. And I would bet you that they would take the time to answer them for you if you showed up with that curiosity. Yes, Bernard, I love it, man. I love you, brother. Men do need to keep real with man. I fucking love this community, and I love showing up here every single day with all of you guys. So I'm going to get out of here. Have a great one, guys. Bernard, keep getting after it. Good luck today in the business. Everybody great. Yeah, yes, Lady Drew. I'm going to go give a piss. I'm going to go give it. Trust me, I'm going to give it. Oh, man. You guys are awesome. Lady Drew, I love you. Maddie, love you too, man. Love all of you guys. Let's get after Morning Loop. Guys, get after your day. I'm going to get after my day, and we're all going to come back and talk about it tomorrow. Jimmy, what do we got going on tomorrow, man? Let's go have a quick little look here tomorrow before we say goodbye. I know we got some things showing up here tomorrow on the show. We'll do a quick little visit of here. What's going on here tomorrow on the show? We have Just doing a quick little check here, guys. We got tomorrow on the show. We got Lydia. We got Justin showing up tomorrow on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. All right, guys, have a good one. We'll see you guys in less than 24. Lady Drew, I'm going to give a piss. See you guys.